And just like that, good evening, everybody. It is Monday night, your favorite night of the week, the time we get together to talk movies. I am Eric Schemer. Dan Rosenberg is nowhere to be found, but I have a feeling he might be floating in space somewhere. As we are gathered together to talk movies tonight, this is the EriDan Film Festival. It's your chance to join us and talk. Yeah, Dan says he'll be on in a few, likely story. But let's find out who else is going to join us tonight, because you can join us at eridanlive.com. You click. You don't click a link. You type that into your browser. You close whatever YouTube, Facebook, whatever craziness you're watching now, and you head over to eridanlive.com instead, and you'll be brought into our green room. We'll bring you into the show. We'll talk movies. And back tonight, we're going to be talking about Apollo 13, Tom Hanks, 1995. So I'm going to bring some guests in because we got people waiting. And we have a second-time guest tonight, so he doesn't get his own intro yet. You got to be here 5 times to get your own special intro. But for now, we'll give Cody this. Hey there.
What's up?
Hey, not too much. You were the first one in the green room waiting to get on, so I thought I'd bring you in first.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I didn't do too bad last time. Thanks for having me back.
You were fantastic. You were awesome. And we're glad that you came back. This is very exciting. We love to have people join in and talk about the movies. And we got so many people waiting, and none of them are Dan. So Dan's going to come in, and we might not even have room for Dan to join the show tonight. This is going to be a wild. People must either really love or really hate this movie because they're so anxious to talk about it. So let's bring in the writer. Stacy and Wade. Oh, sorry, I got to change the view here so we can actually see Wade. There we go. Hey, there's Stacy and Wade. And it looks like you're waiting for a third person to join you on the other side of you. You've got this mystery spot to the left of Stacy. That's like you're waiting for somebody to join. Ooh, centered up the shot. All right, that's much better. You guys are all like red and patriotic. I love it. America. You celebrate America. Appreciate that. And let's bring in Reagan.
To infinity and beyond.
And there's Reagan. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You are so prepared.
Where'd you get that?
At Target. I wanted the Buzz Lightyear one, but Tia didn't let me buy it.
Like, did you buy that this week?
I bought it this morning. Because I went to find Morris at Target, and he's still not there.
Serious? They're out of Morris?
Yeah.
That's
and I found this instead.
I think that was a strong choice. I think you did well. I think you did well. We got to bring in Denise. Hold on. I almost pushed the button.
Hi.
Denise, hey.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of Reagan's hat. I
Unbelievable.
a suit and a white vest in my wardrobe, so I had to go with the third most iconic look.
Cool.
I love it. I think it was a brilliant choice.
I love the helmet though.
They're at Target. They're $3.
That's not bad. That's
I know where I'm going.
So before we start talking about the movie, I will share. For Reagan, you just need to head over to Target.com, and you can actually look to find out when what stores around you have the Morris plush.
They have the tag for him, and it says $10 cut down to $5. But he hasn't been there for the box isn't even there. Somebody took the box.
Man,
People are probably buying that out and selling that for so much more online.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Possible. It is very possible. You're looking for a faceless Morris. My store still says they have them, but they're not shipping them. It's very interesting, And actually, but my store. This was interesting. Is my store closest to me had them, but they are still $10. My sister, who lives maybe 12 miles away, 15 miles away, her targets had them half price. So
it doesn't have eyes.
it does not have eyes. It does not have eyes. That's part of the movie. You gotta you've only have to watch 23 additional movies after Iron Man to get to this movie, Denise. And then you'll understand.
And a couple shows.
And
I
a couple
probably should like the thing with no eyes.
He's really cute.
He's really cute. He is. He's really cute. It's perfect. All right. So Dan said he's going to join us in a few minutes, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk movies. In fact, we're going to talk Apollo 13. 1995 PG failure is not an option. Starring Tom Hanks. I think we all knew that. Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris, and Kathleen Quinlan. Directed by Ron Howard, with a budget of $65 million and a worldwide gross of $336 million. They did pretty well on this one. Critics loved this movie with 96%. Audience, liked it a lot at 87%. And now this is always where I start. Was this anybody's first time ever seeing Apollo 13? Reagan, Cody, and me. This was all our first time. I had never seen this movie before either. Obviously, heard of it, was aware. Oh wait, and we have somebody in the comments. Tara in the comments says an old classmate of mine from Cincinnati played a NASA guy in the movie or the film. We'll go with the movie. I think it's a film. That's kind of like a name drop. Look at her. Way to go, Tara.
In the comments.
Random name drop for a guy. A random, I don't know. We did have his name, Todd Luiso. So we're gonna give you this. This name drop is sponsored in part by Death. It's closer than you think. Death is not available in all areas. Please consult your doctor to find out if death is right for you.
Oh my stars!
Is this a new one?
Oh my stars!
I expected the Kevin James candle.
Oh, apparently, wow, look at this. Her friend is best known for high fidelity. He had a really nice stereo system. No, he was in the movie. He was probably in the movie. Well, who wants to start? How about Cody? This was suggested by who suggested this one?
It was a member of the audience. Yeah.
Comments who we've not heard from yet. So, Cody, you this is your second week with us. We're gonna make you start.
That's okay.
So, what did you think of this movie you had never seen before? Yet has sort of probably its fame preceded it. Like everybody's mentioned this movie for thousands of years.
Yeah, I feel like I actually hadn't heard of that movie or this movie that much.
Oh, really?
Oddly enough, and I knew the story of Apollo 13. And again, I don't know how much I know of the actual facts of it, other than bad things happen, they made it back safely, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that's the majority of what I knew. And so watching the movie, I was trying to balance or understand, and I still haven't looked it up. I probably should have looked it up, of how much of it was over dramatization of it, of what actually happened, to make sure there was always constantly something they were battling against or fighting for or trying to figure out. But overall, I was impressed and shocked with the cast, because every time I kept seeing somebody, I was like, oh my gosh, I know them.
Yeah.
I maybe didn't know the two names I for sure knew were Tom Hanks and obviously Kevin Bacon. Those names I knew for sure. But I think even Ed Harris, I didn't know his name, but I know him, he's in Twister, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then I also recently most saw him in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I was just shook to see all these faces that I've still seen over the years. And I was thoroughly impressed with how exciting the movie was. And Reagan and I actually watched it together, and we had the opportunity to decide between 4K and the standard, what it was filmed in. And we chose to watch it in the old style, so we made sure we saw it how it was meant to be, or how they.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
So it was kind of cool, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Back then, believe me.
No.
Adam is with us. We just have to see how long his internet lasts. So he is there. Well, that's excellent. Reagan, do you concur? Did you like watching it on VHS? No.
Yeah. What's VHS? No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just kidding. I still have those. But No, I thought the same way. We like I said, like Cody said, we watched it together, and the whole time I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's this guy from this movie, and the guy from October Sky was in it." Like I was super excited about him.
Yeah.
It was really cool because so obviously I like Chuck, and one of the girls who was in that show was in a TV show that was like 10 episodes called Astronaut Wives Club. And I watched that, and so it was interesting. I didn't like that show. I liked her in it. I didn't like the show. But I liked being able to see where they would have gotten that idea from. Because you can see with Tom Hanks, his wife, and her story, like, kind of put into it and, stuff like that. I don't know. I just thought that it was really cool to watch a different kind of space movie. I'm terrified of space, but I really like them. So.
I agree with the terrified of space. I don't want to watch either sea movies or space movies.
Yeah, me either. So it was really cool.
Well, let's go to our resident Tom Hanks professional knowledge base of Denise. All things Tom Hanks.
You guys, Forrest and Lieutenant Dan back together again.
That's
That's
what I said.
Movie, okay? So, I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a bit of a space nerd. I love space stuff. Not necessarily space movies, but like actual space stuff. So the only way that this movie could have gotten better, it had Tom Hanks, it was a drama, it was space, is if they somehow brought in a dinosaur. So it was very close in my book. It was a win-win-win, right? So. I have seen this movie before, but it's been a really long time. And I actually felt like it held up very well. Like we've advanced so far in CGI and all of these other things. So I think the movie would look maybe not that different today, actually. I mean, the like shuttle taking off scene looked a little
Sure.
fake,
There was definitely yeah.
still good. It still held up on that. I'm curious to hear what others, particularly Eric, think about this, but I felt like they maintained an appropriate amount of tension, but they weren't overly dramatic. This was a very stressful.
I do agree with that because I think
like they kept it going. Like they're all stressed out. There's 4 human lives at stake, or 3 human lives at stake, right? For 4 days. So it's going to be tension, but they didn't make too many of those like dun dun dun.
Right.
No.
Yes, there would have been some more dramatic tension built between the kids before he left or whatever, or some other part, which I thought they did a good job. At least making you believe they stuck to reality. I agree. I didn't do the research either. But I guarantee who did do the research will be Dave.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
And there he is, Dave.
Hello.
How are you?
Sorry I'm late.
Well, hey, Dan's still not here. So you're doing just fine. I'm assuming you've seen this movie before.
Oh, yes. I've seen the movie, and I was thankful for Wade for suggesting it because I was due to rewatch it. And it also inspired me to read the book I thought it was Wade's. Who was it?
That's
right.
It was Adams.
Adams. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had the book on my pile to read for a couple of years now that it was based on from Frank Lovell. So I went ahead and read that earlier this week.
Now, I personally enjoyed the fact that if you're a big fan of the movie That Thing You Do, there's all sorts of little things that Tom Hanks took from this experience. There are some actors that are in this movie that he brought into That Thing You Do. And the names I would have to look up. But maybe we'll be watching that movie before you know it. And then you'll all get to experience the excitement that I did while watching this. So Stacy and Wade, what are your thoughts on Apollo 13?
Oh, I thought it held up pretty well. I could see, like Denise said, when the rocket was taking off, you could see it was CGI. Whereas the first time you watch it, however many years ago, you're like,
yeah, it was pretty cool originally.
Yeah, so to see that, that was okay. My favorite stuff, directorially, I guess, was when they're in the spacecraft and then the camera pulls out through the window and you're like looking in the window at them. They did that a couple of times. I like that kind of thing because I'm one of those people that when I'm driving by people's houses, when I'm riding at Christmas time especially, I'm looking in windows to see what's up.
Oh, so you're a
weird thing. And we're driving by. I'm not standing outside people's houses. But
She's on the public right of way.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
I can see it from the street. I'm allowed to film it. Not.
So I found that guy that Tara went to school with. He is behind Ed Harris over here. Let me see if I can get it.
Oh, very good.
My
Oh, there he is.
There he is, the one behind Ed Harris.
Ed Harris's shadow.
He's directed some movies and stuff. So
Todd Luiso.
Yeah, he's directed.
It wasn't Ed Harris in Twister. I thought I said the wrong name.
Uh-oh.
That's
It
okay.
was Bill Paxton.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes. You did.
Ed Harris was the coach in radio. That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Tara.
I was so excited.
I like to Google things. I want to know what's happening.
There you go. He's
So
got
yeah, Denise, I kind of like space stuff too, and we went to a museum here in Pittsburgh that had I think it was the Apollo 11 exhibit there, and they actually had the capsule, and you weren't allowed to touch it. It was so hard.
It was like
to not.
He was just like,
you know, touch it. But, oh,
and Wade got kicked out of that museum.
yep,
that wasn't worth it.
I was there.
Okay, you make a distraction. I'm gonna get your capsule.
Yeah, I should have done it. I mean, it would have been the coolest thing.
It would have been. It was the best moment
We
of your
kicked out
life.
of the Heinz History Center. Yeah.
There's Todd.
there he is. That's him.
That's him. Look at him. He's
I've
he's
seen
on
him
Celebrity Net Worth. Let's see what Celebrity Net Worth thinks he's worth.
No.
No, I won't do it. I won't. I promise.
So, but the one thing I thought was amazing of it is it was a story that we knew how it ends, but you're still really held in there suspensefully.
You're like,
I mean, especially like towards the end where it's like, there's a typhoon moving into the edge of the landing zone. You know.
Yeah, that was kind of
I
ridiculous.
always like to be that guy. I had to go tell him that. You know, it's like, and he was just kind of like, what else? You know.
Now, Adam says you have to feel bad for Gary Sinise's character, but I don't
He's the
know.
one who got to walk on the moon in Apollo 16. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got to be fly the shuttle also. I think.
yes.
Yeah.
he
He
did.
had quite a career afterwards, and he didn't almost die.
The interesting thing too is
Exactly.
when after Hanks was cast, Sinise was the second major actor cast, and he was given his choice of roles, and he chose the Ken Mattingly role
Oh,
because he said without him they don't get home.
Exactly.
interesting.
And
Yeah,
Gary
if it had been-
Sinise, go ahead.
The other way around, I'm sure the other guy would have been off with some girl, and they wouldn't even been able to find him.
Exactly.
True.
I mean, it's got to be mad game to be an astronaut. Let's be honest.
You know, I am hoping that Dan joins us in a few because the cars in this movie that they have the astronauts driving, because clearly they're making bank.
Well, that actually is real. I mean, there's one of the cool things about the Blu-ray is they have a director's commentary from Frank and Marilyn Lovell, which is really awesome. And
That's cool.
he talks about the car. He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, that's." At one point, he goes, when the car stalls out on him, he goes, "Oh, I hope GM isn't watching this."
Yeah. Well, they did have like it wasn't. I think it was the Apollo before Apollo 12 that they all got Corvettes, and then all of a sudden the media started making big press about why are you giving these guys these cars and all this.
Oh, that's
So there was issues with that.
well. And my understanding is that Tom Hanks is a huge space junkie.
That's how he got the role. Ron Howard knew that, and hence contacted him as soon as he got the rights to direct it.
So that was.
So
his
now,
way.
has anybody rode the Mission
Space.
Space at Disney
My
World?
wife has, and said that the takeoff sequence for this made her nauseous because it reminded her so much.
Oh
of
yeah, oh yeah.
I love that. That's what I thought of though.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was kind of ready for it, and it was pretty G worthy, definitely. I mean, you were getting stuck back, you couldn't move.
Wow, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I can't ride it anymore. I get sick.
And,
I don't think we have that right at Disneyland.
no, actually,
I don't think you.
I think you do have Mission Space there. I think you do. I think it's in California Adventure.
Maybe.
Am I right?
It's been a minute since I've been to the Big D.
For good reason.
Well, yes.
No.
Well, yeah, for COVID. I mean, but
Yeah.
Has everyone here been to
We're
Disneyland?
there now.
Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, I don't think. I think I'm thinking of something else.
mountain, but that is not like very realistic.
Yeah,
You have
it's not
something
much
else that I didn't know you had, but it's not Mission Space. It's something
Okay,
else.
yeah, Space Mountain.
Sort of threw me off.
Oh, you guys have Hyperspace Mountain too.
They do have Hyperspace Mountain.
And Space Mountain Ghost
So
Galaxy.
jealous.
And let's, not to get off topic here, but let's talk about what Disneyland does at Halloween to their haunted mansion. Because they don't do
Disneyland?
Florida. They don't be doing that in Florida. No, they don't do that in Florida.
What
do they do?
Have Halloween time in the Florida park?
They
Like,
do.
we have trick or
Not-
treat.
They have Halloween stuff, but they do not re-theme Haunted Mansion
Oh gosh.
the way they do in Disneyland. In Disneyland, they re-theme the whole thing for Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's like this epic, amazing
Wow.
thing. Right?
That's
All right,
cool.
that's way off topic. Sorry about that. Bring us back around.
I like how you
Disney
prefaced
night.
that with not to get off topic, but here's something
I was going to
totally
say
off topic.
the one part I liked on the launch scene is where he says, "Oh, this would be a little jolt," and they're like,
Yeah. He goes, oh, that was a good jolt.
That was a little.
Yeah, just a little jolt. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought Kevin Bacon was kind of subdued in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not very like bacony.
Yeah.
Not very crispy.
He was not crispy. No dancing. I was expecting a little dancing, and
There you go.
No.
We didn't get a
Moonwalking,
shower
right?
makeout scene.
He was
We
the
did
one
get
that
that.
made the joke on the news broadcast, though.
Yes.
yes, he did.
It's about the taxes. I think at
That
that,
was
point
real.
we're kind of like, well, I guess they weren't in trouble yet. So.
That was real because he had not filed his taxes yet, and he had such
Yeah,
short
I
notice
remember
to substitute on the flight. He didn't have time to file his taxes.
Oh,
That was real.
pretty funny.
Yeah, that was real.
But again, don't you think NASA would have took care of that for him?
I don't know if Nixon actually took care of that for him. That wasn't mentioned in the book, but
Well, I mean, NASA itself. Do you think they would have like?
Accountants.
Or
on
they
it.
well,
would have
usually you have plenty of time though, because you're not usually called in at the last second like that. He was. I mean, keep in mind he was. Like I know in the movie they said it was 2 days. I think it may have been closer to 3 or 4, but he still had very little time.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we know how accurate it was? Did he get the phone call when he was in the shower?
That is not mentioned. At least, keep in mind the book was written by Lovell, so you sort of get his viewpoint, and then with interviews from other people. But
Got it.
There's much more detail.
Hopefully
about
he
the scenes
wasn't
he
there
was
in the
actually
shower
present
with
for.
him. Got it.
I assume that they were just. They probably made a leap there just to show what a playboy he was, and he was,
Yeah.
you
Without
know.
going-
Well, and that was right. He was something of a playboy. That is actually accurate.
I'm sure there's a lot of accurate from this. Considering who made it.
Yes.
It's like this was not done. There weren't a lot of cheap, gimmicks in this, right? Like
There was a lot of time compression, as there had to be.
of course.
But
Right.
and it showed in a few places. They tended to create more hero moments than they probably needed to. Like, hey, I got a great idea. When actually that was something that was come up with by a committee of people over a period of 36 hours. They sort of had this eureka moment thing. And when Schweigert was coming, we're coming in shallow. I know we're coming in shallow. He didn't notice that. NASA noticed that and was,
Right.
that was.
Speaking,
They had a little bit of that, but that was just part of the selling the myth of the movie.
but speaking of shallow, it is Dan Rosa.
Shallow? Really? Shallow? I apologize for my tardiness. I was on a Zoom call with Jay Moore. Of all people.
That.
And you were the last comic standing.
Who's name dropping now?
I know.
Hold on, wait.
He's on a new show coming up on Fox called The Cleaning Lady.
All right. Well, here's your name. This name drop is sponsored in part by Pants. It's been long enough. It's time to put on your pants.
They said it would be
That's
on
what
at
I'm
5.
doing, too.
The thing was supposed to be over at 6. I told Eric, I said, I'll just click off. Don't worry about it. I'm not really involved in it. No, that wasn't an option. We were doing this whole Q&A thing. They were calling on people. I had to talk, and I was like, all right. So I was going to try to do both. The camera won't do both at the same time, I found out. So
That's all right.
I'm
That's
sorry I
okay.
missed
That was
it.
important.
Let's start from the beginning.
Let's rewind the past 25 minutes. No, I think let's hear what you have to say.
Well, I don't remember it in real life because I wasn't born yet. I was almost born.
Yeah.
Because it happened in 1970, like a few months before I was born.
Yep.
We're talking about Apollo 13, right?
Right.
Well, no, this is no. Okay,
I had seen this movie a few times before, and I did sit and watch it in its entirety. Dave, I did not fall asleep.
Oh.
And my biggest problem is, and this has always been a problem, is that some people say Gemini and some people say Gemini.
Exactly.
Did we talk about that already?
We did not.
No.
We did not.
Gemini. They talk about the previous. Well, he was on Gemini 4. I'm like, also the fact that there was Apollo 1, sort of. Then it went from 4. Then it went to 8. Like, what happened? It's like preparation.
Well,
8.
there was not supposed to. Apollo 1 was not supposed to be a manned flight, but after Grissom, White, and Chaffee died in the fire, and they had been informally, as a joke, calling themselves Apollo 1, they officially christened that as Apollo 1 as a tribute to the 3 astronauts who died.
Ah, was there a 2, 3, 4, 5? I mean, there's certain numbers they just skipped.
Well, 2, 3, and 4 were unmanned tests. They were not. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Where they just tested out one system.
But actually, they may have been manned, but they weren't orbital flights. They were just
The two oldest guys talking about, because they remember they were little boys.
They were there.
I remember watching them walk on the moon.
I remember a decent amount, even though I was what, 6? No, wait,
How old were
7.
you?
7 when Apollo 11 landed. And I remember sitting on my dad's knee watching it, wondering why the picture was so bad. But
because Stanley Kubrick did not have the equipment that he needed.
Yeah, really.
The fake landing.
And I remember the quarantine after they came back, because we didn't know if they brought any moon germs back with them. 13, the main thing I remember is just all the churches, all of the prayer vigils, and all of the prayer requests that went out. And you could not, there were church services held midweek, and there were calls out for everyone to pray for them because nobody knew how this was going to turn out.
Yeah. I mean, but as far as the movie goes, I think it's cool that they use the spacecraft that, they go up and do the dip so they can float, and people were puking during that. So I would not have done that. Obviously.
But not the 3 astronauts. Actually, because I know Hanks has mentioned he was proud that none of the 3 of them actually threw up any of the times on the Vomit Comet, although the same could not be said of all of the rest of the crew.
And I love that the whole Howard family was in the movie.
Right?
I thought that was awesome.
And that Frank Lovell and Marilyn both had cameos.
Yep.
I kind of remember.
Well, I'm glad you guys mentioned that. I was wondering if it would come up in the freaky facts. I started to watch the little, commentary in the end. Maybe not the commentary, but some deleted scenes. And I didn't realize that they actually shot so much in that plane and how
over 600 flights.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 54 minutes total out of all those flights. 54 minutes.
20 to 25 seconds per flight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they can get.
Yeah, because Frank's cameo was fairly major. He was the captain shaking hands with Tom Hanks at the end on the Iwo Jima. Marilyn's was very short. In the scene where they're applauding in the stands at the liftoff, she's standing right in front of Kathleen Quinlan, who's playing Marilyn.
Very cool.
And I do have a few freaky facts, Eric. I don't know if you guys have already touched on these because I couldn't listen, but
Let's hear them.
Give us some facts.
Curse you, Jay
Some
Moore.
space facts.
I know. Are you going to do the thing, or am I just going to
Do the thing? I could do the thing.
Yeah, just
Do the thing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, so freaky.
There you go.
All right. I don't know if this is that freaky, but remember when her ring fell down the drain?
Yes.
That happened in real life. That really did happen.
So that was a question we had. We're like, that really happened?
It did really happen, but they did get the ring back.
Good.
Ron Howard had Walter Cronkite record new audio reports. So a lot of the Walter Cronkite stuff in that was for the movie. They either didn't have it or the quality wasn't good enough. I thought that was very cool. They actually used family photographs from Jim Lovell's old from his house to actually recreate the house to make it look as authentic as possible.
Very cool.
The spacesuits they used They spent $30,000 to build each one of those.
I thought they got those at Target.
Yeah.
Well, now you can.
There.
Really Target for $10, probably.
Party City at Halloween time.
Brad Pitt turned down. I'm guessing he would have the Kevin Bacon role.
For sure.
Instead, he chose to star in Seven.
That worked out.
That's what worked out. And finally, where'd that other one go?
This has a more upbeat ending than Seven.
Yeah, I would say so. Oh, this was the very first 35 millimeter film to be converted into IMAX.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Because most movies now that they do it, they typically they film it in 70 millimeter, so they can do IMAX. So they whatever millimeter they're using. This was converted. And starting next week, instead of doing 5 freaky facts, I'm going to have a game.
Like a quiz?
Like we're going to do like a little fun game where I will throw out movie questions, and either we'll do round robin or you can raise your hand. So we'll make it a little more interactive starting next week.
Interesting.
Really better watch next week. Next week when you have to watch Police Academy 1 through 6.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what happened? What did I miss?
Yes, so we have to watch
already?
all of those, and then we have to watch the rest of the Marvel movies to continue last week.
I think that's more than
It's
fair.
really a shame I'm unavailable next week.
Same.
That's true, actually. But
We have one other potential change for next week. Did we talk about that yet?
No, we haven't talked about any changes.
Okay. Do you want to do that real quick, or you want to do?
Sure, you brought it up now. No, go ahead. Good. I think
All
we're good.
right. We're thinking, since we have so many people, that Denise might not love this, but we're thinking of switching to 5 p.m. West Coast, 8 p.m. East Coast. Will that work for everybody, or is that horrible for everybody?
That
Give you guys
will
an
work for
extra
me.
hour on the East Coast.
That would work for me as long as it doesn't become an excuse to make it last an hour longer.
Oh no.
it's not.
The idea is,
The idea is A, for Eric to get to bed, and B,
That's A.
for me, I'd like it to still kind of almost be light out, which it won't be anymore. Like it's already dark,
Well, especially after we switch out of daylight saving.
Yeah, we get dark very quickly here. We have very long days in the summer and very short days in the winter because we're norther of you.
You up there?
You're norther.
Norther, that's not a word. Easter's a word. Wester's not a word. So
Wow.
if everybody's cool with that, I think we might switch it as early as next week.
There you go. Well, at least we'll try it out. And if we want your feedback. If it's not working for people, we want people to join and be part of the party. We don't want anybody to be excluded.
Adam says it'll be iffy for him, but maybe we could figure out a way to.
What about 5:30?
To uniffy it.
Ooh, half hours.
Ooh, on the half hours.
Let's do 5:28. Eric's birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that works well.
It's 5:28 my time, 8:28 your time. So it's my birthday and Eric's birthday.
Exactly.
That's what we're gonna do.
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
5:28.
That'll be so easy to remember.
I don't know if that's what we're gonna do or not. We'll discuss later. We'll post it,
Okay.
There'll be an announcement.
and I'll hopefully be on time. I apologize again.
Well, we're glad you're here now.
I am.
Do we want to? I think we're like 34 minutes in. I think we gotta. Do
What
the
did Adam
thing.
have to say?
Adam suggested it. I don't know. I mean, Adam has not. He just said that if you like this, you should check out From the Earth to the Moon. So I'm guessing he likes it. Well, and I'm sure he usually does give some wonderful commentary when he gives his score. So Adam, sum up your thoughts with your score. And while we wait for that, we'll get everybody else's score.
And if you like this, I also suggest, even though it has the downside of being 3 hours long, a great movie.
Oh,
yeah, I've seen that.
And now
is that the New Kids on the Block documentary? Yeah,
Sure.
the right stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let's do it.
The EriDan rating bot 6000. EriDan rating 6000. EriDan now activated.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to make some new graphics because, Back to the Future keeps dropping from.
Stop it.
All right, Dan, you're in control. Tell everybody what to do.
All right. We'll start. We'll start at the bottom here. The constellation Orion. also known as Mr. Uranus. Uranus, I'm sorry. Gemini went to Uranus.
Yes, and that is actually what they referred to it as. I think that it was either Deke Slayton or Wally Schirra came up with that about referring to their jettisoning of the Uran as the constellation Urian.
That CGI did not hold up. I'm just gonna say that I could live with the liftoff, but that was like, no.
You don't need a cloud of urine?
3 points for that CGI.
It was nice to see Tom Hanks and Lieutenant Dan together again. Forgot to mention.
I mean, I love space stuff. I have a bookshelf full of NASA publications. I have a Lego Saturn V downstairs. I could, so I could talk about this book, the same way that Reagan could talk about The Room, or excuse me, Room.
The Womb?
Not The Womb. Room.
I won't, because that'd be boring. But it's... I love a movie that's made based on a real story that actually tries as hard as this one does to get the details right. That's very impressive. They did a great job. The compromises they made were really just because you can't tell this movie in 2 hours without making some compromises. So I give them a ton of credit. I thought the casting was excellent. It's the story. The story makes the movie, but they still could have ruined it, and they didn't. So I have some quibbles with it, but I'm not even going to mention them because they're not important. But it's a solid A. I give it a 92. Any space movie that tries this hard to be accurate is always going to get an A from me because it's just a subject that I can't be objective about.
Very nice. All right, so now we go to Denise.
Well, I've now learned that if I was at a cocktail party with Dave, I would totally corner him so we could talk about space stuff. Because that's what I do when I'm at parties with my friend's husband who works for JPL. So that's the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Sorry.
Yeah, not library.
That's where Stacy works.
But wouldn't that be fun to go to the space library? So anyway, I mean, you guys know this movie's a win for me. It has Tom Hanks, the most wonderful, most perfect human. It has space. It has drama, the appropriate amount. It has people just demonstrating unfathomable calmness in just ridiculous situations. And I also really appreciated one scene that we haven't talked about was the pain that Tom Hanks shows, like the pain and the disappointment on his face when like they're so close to the moon, and he's like, I've seen it. Like, I'm not even going to look out there because it's so disappointing. And it was just heartbreaking. This movie made me cry. I thought it was great. Not something I want to watch a lot, I'll be honest. I'm good for the next 10 years. But I actually had the same score as Dave. I also give it 92.
Very nice. Very nice. So that means we can now go to Reagan. I'm sorry I muted everybody else. I'm just trying to keep feedback from happening.
13%. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I was gonna stick with the 92 as well. Actually, I agreed with Dave. I agree with. I don't know. I really like one of my favorite movies is October Sky. It's more about space than it is in space. And I I talked about Astronaut Wives Club, and even though it wasn't my favorite show that I've watched, it was still interesting. The storyline, and so I really liked a lot about it. There was just a lot of stuff that was really, really good. And you're exactly right. Like they could have ruined it in many different ways. And they didn't. And the whole time, the way that I watched it was Cody telling me, I hope you're okay with death. So that was really something that I was going to have to deal with. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what's going to happen. And so I thought, even though nothing happened at the end, and they all came home safe, I did think that it was really cool to watch, going with them on the journey that they actually went on and going with them day by day, seeing the different perspectives, his family, the people, Houston, we have a problem. We got to see their reaction. We got to see all the different reactions and how they went on through that day. Even Lieutenant Dan, who I don't remember his name in this, but I just thought that it was really good the way that they structured everything and the perspectives and, all that different stuff. So yeah, I'm going to stick with a 92 as well.
Wow. So much love.
Lots of 92s coming at you at 92.5. I should unmute you first. There you go. Oh, no, I can't. You muted yourself.
What? They muted themselves.
We were being helpful.
So, yeah, I mean, I've watched it more than once, and I've watched much more boring space movies than this. Because I like that stuff. So, I wasn't going to go to a 92. I was going to do a 90, so I'll stick with a 90.
Yeah, we had actually been trying to get Reagan to watch this for a long time, so she never would. And I don't know, whatever.
It's a dream come true. EriDan is making dreams come true.
Yeah.
It's the power of the EriDan. I have watched things that I would never have watched before. So I would.
It is. It's peer pressure.
That's a T-shirt right there. The power of EriDan.
The power of EriDan.
My favorite Celine Dion song.
I like almost anything Ron Howard does. He's meticulous in his work, and I really like that. He tells a good story. He had great actors, and it was funny because I happened to notice Reiner was one of the last names. I'm like, who is that? It was Penny Marshall's daughter was Paxton's wife. I can't remember anybody's real name in the movie. So Bill Paxton's wife. Yeah. The pregnant one. Yes. Yeah. She was also in A League of Their Own. She played the girl whose husband died in the war. And here she's Penny Marshall's daughter. And I was really shocked to find that out. I had no idea. And her last name is Reiner because Rob Reiner adopted her when he and Penny Marshall were married. So just a little trivia there. But I just really like his casting, and I recognize so many faces. And like Cody was saying earlier, don't know what I know them from, but I know their face. Just like your friend Tara's classmate. I know I've seen his face in other things. So I just really like how it was just a good cast, and everybody's cast well, and the acting. I saw it this time. The first time I didn't. Yeah. Like when Harris at the end, when it's all good, and he sits down and he's like, "Yeah, it's good. They're alive. Hooray!" I could see him acting this time, and I couldn't the first time, and I was really a little disappointed this time. So my review should be on the first time I watched it because wow, that was powerful. This time I was like, "Yeah, he's doing his job." So I think I'm going to give it an 89. I do love like the work and everything, but it didn't hold up as much as I thought it would, and I'm just what it is.
89 is a great score still.
Yeah, when I saw Ed Harris, I'm like, why is John Glenn the program the director of the space flight?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh wait, that was
an awful lot
stuff.
like him. They
good
showed
stuff.
I mean the good stuff. I mean the good place. I mean
right
good time.
The right brothers. I mean
that's right. What's that?
Right. Whatever he was in. No, didn't he? He played John Glenn in The Right Stuff.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was not in the Backstreet Boys.
Remember, if you're in the comments, you can throw out so if you're just watching and you just want to type a score into the comments, you can do that too.
Speaking of 92s, at Cody Crow 92.
Yes. This is hard for me because this is like I'm trying to balance between rating the movie on how much I was interested in it and rating the movie based on what it was and especially for what it was at the time and the cinematography and the acting and all the different things that come into creating a film. And I can say
all we ask is that you keep your rating scale consistent, however movies, you can rate on whatever basis you like to rate on, but just be true to yourself.
Yeah,
right? So
I definitely want to. If I was rating it based on my interest in the movie, it'd probably be like a mid 70 at best. Just because I'm spoiled. I grew up watching all these Marvel movies get crazy good and all the CGI and all this stuff, but I also grew up understanding the technology advances and realizing when this movie came out in the 90s, how it looks phenomenal, and you guys have discussed that over and over again. And the acting was, again, we've talked about Tom Hanks when he looks out the the window and sees the moon and realizes he can't step on it, and the sadness that, and like even when he was watching the TV when Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon, and like just the shock and awe, and the moment that hit me in the movie, that was just like, this is what it, like they're showing what it was like back then when they called the kids to come sit down and watch the TV. Like they cared about their kids watching history, and like that was just crazy and cool to watch. And I thought the movie did a phenomenal job of just depicting what it was like to not only experience that from the people, like the astronauts' perspective, but the people who were worried about them, the families, the people trying to get them back at NASA. And I think I'm gonna go kind of in between everyone, and I'm gonna give it a 91.
Nice.
All right. I'll go up. First, we've got some people in the comments, Eric. We've got Adam. He picked the movie. Good historical drama. Cast and spot. Ed Harris stands out with his performance, except that one point at the end. Pacing was good and didn't bore him. It's a movie he will watch if it's on. Adam gives it a solid 95.
Wow.
Love.
And Adam 95 is like an Eric 240.
That is true.
And Adam 95 is like touched by God.
And Tara, who used to be on the BPA board with me here on Bainbridge Island, she's giving a 92.8, which we have to round up because
we'll round that to a 93. And that's her first score. That's the first time she's
first time you scored. Thanks for joining us.
So thank you for joining in. That's fun.
And I'm going to get, also my mom gave it a 90.
Wow. So much love. Now I guess this is like Star Trek again. There's so much love.
It's like a Tom Hanks thing.
It could be a Tom Hanks thing.
Yeah, it's our first Kevin Bacon movie. I don't know how many Tom Hanks movies we've done now, but
just 2, right?
Just 2?
Yeah, I think just this and Forrest Gump.
Oh.
God, no, didn't you do the one about the volcano?
Oh,
Joe versus the
volcano. Which should have been a top.
Bachelor Party too. That would be.
That's right.
True.
Bachelor Party's on the wheel.
And then we'll watch all season 1 of Bosom Buddies too.
To me, Bachelor Party is really an Adrian's Med movie, or Tawny Katane movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do like this, and just to keep it moving along, it really, everybody's right. I'm going 92 also.
Wow. My goodness, I get to be the buzzkill again.
Here we go.
No, I like it. I like it. It's a good movie, but I agree. As Denise said, she's good for another 10 years. And a movie for me that's going to get in the A range is something that I want to watch again and again. Those are my favorite movies and the movies I put in the 90s. And I thought this was really good. I mean, I have no quibbles about it. It's just not my style. It's not anything that I would go back to again and again. Again, maybe in 10 years, if I happen to stumble upon it, or if I'm doing a different show at that time and we have to watch it, I would. But so I was like 86. I'm a little lower than everybody, but still solid.
86 is not a buzzkill number.
No, it's not. I wasn't 35ing it.
That's actually a lot higher than I expected you to rate it.
No, I really did enjoy it. I really, but it's a movie that it's like, they're going to die the whole time. And it's like, they're not going to die. So, really well done. Really enjoyable is the wrong word, though.
But I will say it wasn't false drama.
No.
That was the real drama that everyone was going through while it was happening.
Correct.
Yeah, agreed.
Exactly.
And that is
definitely a solid movie, definitely enjoyable. But definitely 86 for me.
While you're talking more, I forgot to share the beverage of the night, which is Fremont Brewing Space Danger. Which I thought was very appropriate. And this is actually from Seattle, Dan.
Who remembers space food sticks?
What?
And I'm having it at Starbucks from earlier today, which is also from Seattle.
Oh, Starbucks! I see it.
Star and Buck
Rogers.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yes, Wade remembers. They used to sell in the 70s, maybe late 60s, definitely the 70s though. It was like a Slim Jim sized strip that they called space food sticks. They were supposedly what the astronauts ate, and they were like butterscotch.
It was pretty good too.
And it was sort of like butterscotch flavored paste.
Yeah, I think they had chocolate chip ones
awesome.
too.
I think
They
your
got
brother
astronaut
talks
ice
about
cream.
them.
Astronaut.
Yeah,
ice
my
cream.
brother
Yes,
complained 'cause I ate
Denise.
them all.
That's my favorite dessert.
I don't think I've ever had it, but
We're
I've
gonna
seen
get
it,
you some.
at the space museums. They
Well, then don't forget Tang
They're
too.
so
That's what I was gonna
good.
say. Don't forget Tang too. That was always everybody had to have that.
You had to have Tang.
I was not allowed to have that.
I just
still think
wanted
about
the
astronaut
pen
ice
that you
cream.
could write upside down with. I wanted the
Fisher
Yeah,
Space
pen.
they used to have those commercials. Yeah.
All right, so because of our latest rating, Election gets bumped to the second page. The second page is becoming quite the movie show in itself. But constant evolving changes in the top 10 puts Apollo 13 edging out Star Trek. Like just a smidge.
Wow, consecutive weeks. Wow.
Yeah, look at all the changes we have had in the past couple of months to the top 10. For the longest time, nobody could touch
Iron Man, Apollo 13, and Star Trek, all in close proximity.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of changes happening.
We've seen good movies lately. People have been choosing well.
Yes, well, let's see if we can put a stop to that.
Next week is a double feature.
What?
Oh my god.
It's the
It's
first
new
week.
month already.
I know, it's October already.
Oh, wow. I really wasn't prepared for that. Okay.
Maybe we'll put it on the onus on whoever chooses a double feature to not choose 2-hour-plus movies.
Oh, come on.
Two
You're
shorts.
no fun.
Two shorts.
You can fit the right stuff. You can throw that on.
You do 2 Pixar films.
And the
Those are
good stuff, the right stuff and the good stuff. We'll watch those two. That'll be fun. All right, let's find out what we're going to watch next. All right, so here's how this works. We will put everybody who's participating, watching on the show right now, and who can be with us next week. You have to be able to be with us next week, and you also could never have had a chance to choose a double feature before, and so a lot of rules. So Dan has done a double feature before, and
I've done a double feature.
I've done
and
it.
went a 10, so take me off.
Okay, so no Denise.
So it's
Let me see.
Stacy and Reagan have done it.
Yeah, I did room and
Stacy did it. Reagan's done it. There's some people here whose names I don't even recognize.
wow.
Did Adam do a double feature? I don't think Adam ever did get a chance to do a double feature.
I don't think so.
Dan let him have one of Dan's spots at one point. Yeah, hold on. Let me try to get the name list up here. So no Dan. Dan, is your mother watching, and does she want to be part of this? Would she want to choose?
I'm not sure if she's watching. I think she's watching.
All right, Wade. Wade, you haven't done a double feature.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Nope, you have not. Adam has not. I have not. Let me see. Cody, you definitely have not. Cody, would you be able to be here next week?
Oh yeah.
But here's the deal. So if your name were to come up on the wheel, you get to choose 2 movies for our double feature. There can be an association. There does not have to be an association. The only thing we ask is that they're not incredibly difficult to find online. So they can't be super obscure or cost like $18 to rent. To try to make it so there's at least a good chance that people might that people might be able to find the movie and watch the movie. They can be movies that are on our wheel. They just can't be movies we've watched before. And again, they can have an association. They can have no association. I had my dream double feature, but I'm not sure it's going to be easy to find. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do my double. If I were to come up, I might not be able to do my.
You'll have to tell us what your dream double feature is.
Well, yeah,
If
I
you
will
come
tell
up.
you what it would be, but you know what one of them would be. But it's only
You wouldn't do that to us.
I would totally do that to you.
I think there's one that I have.
It is one that Denise has. I bought you a copy of it.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
I would want to be here for that one for sure.
That's right. We couldn't do that one next week, anyways, if Denise can't be. So I
need an ally.
I might need an ally. But I won't do that. Dan, any thoughts on your mom, Dan? What do you think?
I don't think so.
All right, we will ditch her. So that just leaves Wade, Adam, Cody, and myself. Is that right? Ooh. Oh.
Well, 1 in 4 chance.
Whoa, look at this. This is exciting times. Okay. And you
I
don't
don't
have.
think we have any chick flicks if that's what you're looking for.
It's Adam and the
Oh,
Target.
Eric. No, never mind. I take that back.
Deal at Target.
All right, here we go. Let's find out what it's going to be. And it's going to be Cody. Oh, my goodness.
It's not what I wanted.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure at all. We will
I don't
just
know if
meet
this-
you forever.
I have one that I know that I want, but I don't know if it's where you can get it. Or
All right, well, tell us what it is, and I'll look it up.
Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, great show.
Excellent film.
Jojo Rabbit.
It is available. Nope, wait, I just looked for the wrong thing. Why did you search for that? I didn't tell you to search for that. There it is. Jojo Rabbit is available for streaming on Max Go,
Oh yeah.
Cinemax, DirecTV, but for available for rent for $3.99.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Okay.
And totally worth the $3.99.
Yeah. I gotta find my second one.
If I was going to make people watch Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, I would have to send you all $3.99.
You can't make me watch. You can just make me.
Well, I could encourage you to watch it. I wouldn't make it. If I could, I wouldn't make you watch it. I would just make it the movie of the week.
That you could do.
That I could do.
One day I'll get you guys with The Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2.
Nope.
Saw it.
I know, Denise, my mom, I was like, they're out.
Yeah, seriously.
I have to hold back for that one. I get it.
Yep, Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson.
I'll never see that one.
Scarlett Johansson. By the way, the candle is almost gone. The candle has almost been burned to fruition.
My mom did mention that she enjoyed after watching Iron Man. She understood why you have Gwyneth Paltrow's candle at your house. I'm like, oh, it's a different candle.
That's
He's got the Scarlett Johansson candle, not the Gwyneth Paltrow candle.
That's a whole different thing.
I wasn't ready to pick two. Okay, listen.
That's all right. That's all
I didn't
right.
know this was a thing.
I know. It is terrible. Yes.
Eric didn't realize it was either.
To answer the question, yes.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that's who it was.
Yes.
Yeah,
by the way,
it's phenomenal.
and again, just because we're talking about him, you know, and you know, and just I know Dave mentioned you saw this. You saw last week. You mentioned that you watched Free Guy.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh.
So you know, speaking of Jojo Rabbit, I just saw Taika Waititi in that.
Yes, he's so good in that. You know, which brings me to my Ryan Reynolds fact of the week.
What a guy!
What a guy! You know, and it's this wasn't exactly this week, but this may be within the last 2 weeks that this was viral. Let's enjoy this.
Brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like.
I love that so much.
Why was Will Ferrell wearing so much makeup?
Well, they're in a movie together.
Oh, are
How
they?
old am I that I never understand what's happening in a TikTok video? Like,
They look like they're gonna be
I
old.
agree.
They're gonna be like,
why did that happen, and what does that mean?
I just saw another one with that song, and I didn't know what it was.
They own the internet now. Ryan Reynolds owns the internet.
But what is
I
that
think-
song? I don't even know.
I think I know what the second one's gonna be, and I'm pretty sure that probably everyone's seen it, which is sad, but I just love it so much, and I already mentioned it today. Radio.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
I haven't watched that one, so we'll watch them together.
Yes.
I actually have not seen Radio.
It is so good.
2003?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen this.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm familiar with it, but I've never seen it.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
I kind of like it when there's a double feature when I know one of the movies and I don't know the other one. So there you
Oh,
go.
Ed Harris.
Yep.
There you go. It is. It's Ed Harris. And again, $2.99 for rent. Not bad. If you need to rent it, or if you're this actually is streaming on Stars, if you got that, or Hoopla.
Oh, it's on Hoopla. Cool.
It is on Hoopla.
Reagan, you have Hoopla.
Hoopla's
No, I
easy.
do not.
You do on
I
your
can't
phone.
find it.
Reagan, you
your
have my
internet.
TV. You're good.
Yep.
This looks.
That's how I live at school.
This kind of looks sports related.
It is. It is. But you will. I thought about
Don't
that,
get it
and
confused
we
with
talked
Rudy.
about that earlier, and I think you will actually enjoy this movie.
Denise, you could
Sorry,
be
Eric, I won't be
on
here.
here. Denise is
I'm bummed. I actually haven't seen either of these movies, and both
It is.
sound good.
It is way less of a sports movie than you might think.
Yeah.
That's what Dan tried to say about Hoosiers.
Yeah.
And it was 95 minutes of basketball play.
I debated on saying Waterboy, and I thought I shouldn't, so I didn't.
Oh, no, that I wouldn't know.
Not Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, the Happy Gilmore.
That's my level of sports movie. All right, so Dan was talking about maybe we're gonna move the what else are you watching segment to maybe just once a month. Is that we'll do one
Just
more?
make the show closer to an hour.
Okay, I think that's reasonable. But we could.
But this could be that once a month.
Yeah, we'll do this at the end of each month. We'll talk about what you've been watching this month. So here we go. All right. Well, as I mentioned, Free Guy. I mean, I thought Free Guy was so good. Adam said it got a meh.
I agree.
You know, what?
I
am
expected Ready Player One.
I'm
So that
between
ruined
Reagan
it.
and Eric then, because
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, but I think Eric and Margaret both enjoyed it more than I did.
I would have watched it immediately after it ended. That was the kind of movie it was for me. Now, for my kids, I get it because there was a lot of cringe in there. I think for people who are avid video gamers and really into that culture right now, because a lot of the YouTubers they had on there, the game Ninja appearing on there to make comments was a bit much.
Well, and also for the computer people, the idea of he's taking an axe to the servers and parts of the world are disappearing as he's axing the
That
servers.
bothered me.
That
I
was
knew nothing
so
about computers.
realistic.
That makes
and I
no
was like,
sense at all. But you
That
that's
was
just what
so
you do.
realistic because they wouldn't have backup servers anywhere else in the U.S. either. But they would have their only servers for this $1 billion game running in one location where their offices were. That if you ever want to take the servers offline, you just grab an axe.
Yeah, they couldn't pull the power.
No, they
So
couldn't
had
pull
an
the
axe.
power. They couldn't just shut the game down. There had to be an but it was so dramatic.
But it was still fun, but I still enjoyed it.
Chris Evans. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry. That from
yeah, I like those parts.
I'm like,
visual.
this is awesome. I'm so excited. Oh,
And they
But
would
there were
change the
some very
music.
cool, just little throwaways in there. They
Yes.
were a lot of fun.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It was a fun movie.
Mhm.
That's what Apollo 13 needed, was a little more fun. A little more server smashing. If they would have done that when... So what else have people been watching? What else has caught your eyeballs this week, this month, this life?
Well, more Ted Lasso. I watched a lot more. I got caught up on Ted Lasso. Nobody's watching that? Okay. The morning show.
I
Watch
haven't
that.
started season 2 yet for whatever reason.
Okay. They're good shows.
I really loved season 1, but I haven't started season 2 yet.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Lucifer the past 2 days.
Oh,
I have also. That's about as much as I've watched. It is good. I just haven't finished for some reason.
I just didn't know how much I'd like it or how much I'd be interested in it. I heard a bunch of people praising it, and I don't know how I feel yet. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm a little late, but I started watching Flack with Anna Paquin, and I'm like pretty much done with it. And I'm not going to tell you when I started it, but yes, it was binge worthy for me.
Where are you watching that on? What?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice.
I believe it's a Prime original, and they know me now. They've been telling me to watch this for years, and I keep ignoring them. Like, I don't know.
Speaking of Prime, you should watch Chuck. It's on there.
I've never seen Chuck, but you.
I'm restarting it. I'm restarting it
I've
next
mentioned
week.
this show before.
Yeah, you should just do that for anything. Speaking of Best Buy, you should really watch Chuck. Speaking of narrow ties, you should really
You should
watch Chuck.
Chuck. You watch Chuck? It's a good one. I love it so much. I'm gonna restart it again next week because I got to the last 3 episodes and I stopped because they hurt, and so I went back to the season 1. But yeah, that's what I did. No, I Survivor started this week.
Yes.
And I hated it so much that I went back to my favorite season, which is season 2. So that's what I'm watching instead of Survivor.
So what did you hate about it?
Everything.
Wow.
It just, I don't like the way that it's been for a couple years now with all of the immunity idols and all those like craziness. I don't like that. I like watching them survive.
The fact that the challenges are all the same every season.
Yes.
And I don't like that either. And I honestly don't like the whole social changes. I think that just irritates me. And I'm not into tattoos, but I would get one of Jeff saying, "Come on in, guys."
Yeah,
and we don't say that anymore. And I'm like, yeah, it just kind of, it's just a bunch of stuff that I'm just like, it just, I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. So yeah.
I did like the fact that they were at least trying to make it harder again, because recent seasons had been, okay, here's your camp, and here's your flint, and here's your rice, and here's your clean water, and here's your stuff to make your shelter, and stuff that used to take them a week to get to, they had in one afternoon now.
Yeah.
So they're trying to at least make it somewhat harder.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like when Wheel of Fortune gives you the most commonly chosen letters.
It's kind of like
everybody asks for an E and an S, and we got that. Yeah, let's just give you some of these letters. Get those.
It's kind of like when you watch Celebrity Family Feud, and they think the game is usually that easy.
Yeah. And there's so many people on there. Like whenever you watch season 2, and it's like Elizabeth, who now Hasselbeck, and this guy from Crittenden, Kentucky, and Colby Donaldson, and all these people that you had no idea. Amber Burkett, she was from Beaver, Pennsylvania. That's who it was. And now it's like people that have money, people from Big Brother, people from all these shows. Like it just doesn't. I don't like that anymore. I don't like that. Gotcha. And yeah, it's irritating. The whole, just every detail of it now.
Well, I was wondering, because I know they had to stop The Amazing Race mid-season when the pandemic hit. But they already had one season they'd finished recording that they still haven't shown. And I wonder, because it's not like Survivor where you don't find out you won until the live show.
Yeah.
The Amazing Race, you won. Do you have to keep that a secret? Do you not get because you can't reveal it to anybody? So you can't go out and buy a nice new house or anything because people are going to go, "Oh, you must have won the Amazing Race money."
Oh.
What do they do in that case when they're not going to air it for an extra year?
I think you do have to just keep it quiet. I had a friend who won on Wheel of Fortune, and she had to keep it mum. She could tell people she was on, but she couldn't say that she won.
Yeah, but if she had to wait an extra 2 years before it aired, would she have been able to keep that a secret if she won a substantial amount of money?
That's a good point. Well, you can't win that much on Wheel of Fortune.
That's true.
Eric, was it Denise?
I don't know how much they win on Survivor, whatever show you were talking about, but the cost of real estate is so high right now, they probably can't buy a house anyway.
Exactly.
$1 million is not doing it.
Oh, $1 million? Oh,
yeah.
It's just
they can get a condo.
Yeah, in California, you're not getting anything for that.
No, 2-bedroom condo. 3-bedroom condo.
Nice.
But not in a good city.
Anybody else watch the finale of Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
And thoughts?
I might have teared up a little.
I did. I was very sad to see that.
The whole final
I did
season.
see the cast when they were on one of the shows. Remember which one it was? All the cast appeared together.
I think they were on Seth.
Yeah, they're on Seth.
I didn't see it though.
And
That's true, 'cause
hearing
he has the SNL connection. Yeah.
Yeah, and hearing Stephanie Beatrice, who plays
Rizzo.
her name already. Yeah, Rosa. Hearing her do her regular voice.
Oh, it's disturbing. That's all right. It's even more disturbing seeing her in the Heights.
Oh,
her singing in the Heights.
Oh,
Didn't
dude,
see that.
That's Rosa Diaz.
dude, I know her from Short Term 12, and then she was singing, and I was like, "What?" It was so bizarre.
It is bizarre. It's like seeing the actress from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who played and I forgot her name already. She was the tough agent from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agent.
You're talking about Mulan.
Agent May.
Yes.
It's like
Agent May.
Agent May in the George Lopez show.
But if you're my age, it was like seeing Gomer Pyle go on Carol Burnett and all of a sudden start
saying She also played Gloria's sister on Modern Family.
Oh.
See?
I don't think she spoke English.
Diversity. It's awesome. That's awesome. Adam said he watched football yesterday. And
Yeah,
I
Steelers are
don't know what
done.
any of that means. I have no
yeah.
idea what any of that means. It's all gibberish to me.
He's just talking about Big Ben. It's sad.
Steelers are done. Seahawks are done. It's all over.
Penn State won though.
Hey.
We are.
And Pitt won by 77-7.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Wow.
Well, they're playing New Hampshire State or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't. They're starting the big teams next week and playing Georgia
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah. I mean, it helps to have a fifth-year senior for your quarterback.
That's true. Adam, Big Ben needs an offensive line. That's all I'm gonna say.
Big Ben needs to retire. He's getting too old.
Yeah.
He also needs a defense that can stop the other team. But that's another side.
I wouldn't. No, I don't want to watch. But
Go Patriots. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, I'm gonna smack you later.
All right. Well, it's been good
Listen,
seeing
I don't
people.
watch football.
Talk to you
That's
later.
why.
Dan wanted some controversy.
Well, there it is.
Dan was hoping for a little controversy to boost the rate.
Call me when Bill Belichick wins with a team without Tom Brady.
It's never happened before. Why start now?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even watch football. I just know that people don't like the Patriots, so I'm always like, yeah, let's go.
Nice.
Speaking of going, I actually have to roll. I know I came in early.
Oh my
I
goodness.
came in late. I might have to leave early.
All right. Well, no, I think we've wrapped up.
wrapping?
I think we're good. We have got 2 fabulous movies to watch. Next week we're gonna watch Womb. No, we're not gonna watch Womb.
Yes. When I look that
Watch
up,
Radio
it's weird.
and Jojo Rabbit or Jojo Radio, whatever you can find. So yeah, and both available for streaming in your local streaming.
Yeah, I ended up watching JoJo Siwa and Peter Rabbit, so got them mixed up.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Well, I know JoJo Siwa is on Dancing with the Stars, so just watch that.
Yeah,
And
the
that
best sport.
awesome.
All right, everybody.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys next Monday.
Sounds great. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.